What's going on, dudes? Ghxst here, and welcome back to some more Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Justice for All. This is part 31. If you guys remember where we left off, a bunch. I don't know what it is with this trial and what I've been saying for the past few videos, but as the trend is going, a lot is going on. So we found the suicide note. Phoenix believes that it's now fake. So now we're having the suicide note get tested for handwriting to see who it belongs to. The killer and Maya are gone again, but Gumshoe found stuff that he left behind in his escape. On his way here, he got into a car crash, and now we're in the midst of a 30-minute recess. And I assume as we get into this game, we're going to be back in trial, and we probably have an answer to whose fingerprints these belong to. And I don't know if I really don't know if we're gonna get to Maya in time. If I'm being honest, because it's been so long, and they said that and Mia said that Maya is being starved now, so we need to speed this trial along if we're gonna save her. If you guys like what you see and want more Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Justice for All, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and let's get into the video. Showtime. Court will now reconvene. I assume both sides are ready. Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. Both of them are tweaking right now. I can understand the defense acting like this. However, why do you also seem distraught, Mr. Edgeworth? It's nothing, Your Honor. What the fuck did you find out, Edgeworth? Now it's not the time to be playing. What's wrong with Edgeworth? It looks like something unexpected just happened to him. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, if you could please tell the court the results of the handwriting analysis on Miss Impact's suicide note. Yes, Your Honor. Unfortunately, we have discovered that the suicide note is a forgery. What? What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? This note was not written by Miss Impacts herself. It is a fake. Okay, so we have reason to believe it's fake. Who does it belong to then? Order, order, order! Mr. Edgeworth, would you care to explain what is going on? If this was not written by Miss Impacts, then who wrote it? We would need more time to do a more detailed analysis, however. It appears that the handwriting matches that of the victim, Mr. Juan Corrida. Mr. Corrida? Well, well. It looks like Miss Impacts never left a suicide note after all. She never wrote anything about Engarde. However, Your Honor, even though the suicide note is indeed a fake, Mr. Engarde could not have known that, and so the fact still remains unchanged. Acting under the assumption that it was real, he had plotted to possess it. That does sound very plausible. This theory that Engarde had no idea that the suicide note was fake. Something seems a little off with that. Nigga, I don't fucking know. The defense believes that the theory the prosecution has stated contradicts testimony. If everything the prosecution has proven up to this point is true, then it's impossible for Mr. Engarde to have known it was a fake. Shit. It would be impossible for Engarde to know it was fake. Hold on, what does the bear say? The spy camera was set in its right eye, found in the victim's room. I wish I could go back and like read everything else, so I could get a grasp of what I'm reading. It's impossible for Engarde to not have known it was a fake. Found inside the figurine, it tells Engarde's horrible misdeeds. Could he have known through the stuffed bear? Hold on. It would have. Hold on. It would. It is impossible for Engarde to have not known it was a fake. Um. Was running during the time of the murder. This hotel map has done jack shit all game. Nothing on this first page is gonna do me any good now. We're way past that. The stuffed bear. Found at Engarde Mansion with Love Celeste is written on it. Found inside the. I don't fucking know. The bear is the best answer I got right now. And what's this little camera? What's this little item called again? A video camera, Your Honor. Well, a very small one, but oh, that's right, a camera. And you kids and your fancy toys nowadays. Mr. Edgeworth, earlier you claimed that Mr. Engarde knew of the existence of this note because he was spying on the victim. Isn't that right? That's true. See, it was either between that bear or the video camera, and it was either one of the two. If that were true, then that means Mr. Engarde would have known that the victim had forged the note. Ah! So then the defendant knew this suicide note was a fake? And if that's true, then the situation has suddenly changed in a very dramatic way. Exactly, Your Honor. The prosecution's theory was as to what Mr. Engarde's motive for murder was. It has suddenly disappeared into thin air. But Your Honor, it's not as if Mr. Engarde monitored Mr. Karaita 24 hours a day. Perhaps the victim wrote the note in a place Mr. Engarde didn't know of. Well, right back at you, Mr. Edgeworth. Why don't you show us some proof that the victim made the forgery at an unknown place? Order! Mr. Edgeworth. It looks like this time it is you who has dug his own grave. As I figured. Huh? What do you mean, huh? As you figured. As I figured. It came down to this after all. Mr. Edgeworth, you're not making any sense. When I heard the results of the handwriting analysis, I thought this might happen. The question is, what next? What next? What if the prosecution can't prove Mr. Engarde's motive through the evidence, then we must prove it from another angle. Well, I agree with you there, Your Honor. The prosecution would like to call a witness to the stand at this time. If he calls Engarde to the stand, I swear. Oh, well, that's fine. However, this witness is a little unusual. Oh, God. Edgeworth stuttering? That's not like him at all. Unusual. Well, what sort of witness is this person, Mr. Edgeworth? Though this witness is the one who is perfectly fit to answer once and for all of the questions of who was it that hired Shelley the killer to commit murder? That's impossible. No such person exists. No such person exists who can answer that question with such certainty. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth. Who is this witness? Yes, go on. Who is it? Who is it? The man himself, Mr. Shelley the Killer. How the hell are we gonna pull him in here? This is such a far-fetched reach. Bro, I swear this game will try and like grasp to any means it can to make a verdict I need possible. Oh, Mr. the Killer. Wait! Shelley the Killer? That's what I said, bro. You mean the killer, I mean the assassin? Yes, Your Honor. He's coming here? To the witness stand? Well, yes, in a manner of speaking. I recognize this is a very unusual circumstance, so I ask for your permission. Well, Mr. Wright? Yes? Is that alright with you? Do I have a choice here? I can't really do much else. I can't really do much else to drag this trial out. The defense has no objections, Your Honor. I wonder if it is really alright to do this. Very well then. The prosecution calls its witness to the stand. Edgeworth, is there really no other way left for us? Ah, shit. Now then, the witness. Your name and your, occupation, please. What the fuck? Good, very good, sir. We have a walkie-talkie on the stand. What is going on? My name is Shelly the Killer, and I'm a professional assassin. I say, what's going on here? Your Honor? How can you remain so calm? And what is the meaning of this two-way radio? Actually, Your Honor, it was delivered to me just now, and it comes with a condition. As long as we do not trace its source, Mr. the Killer will testify to this court. So this must be what that urgent phone call he got earlier was about. Oh no, this will not do. I cannot allow this in my court. First of all, we can't even be sure this is really Mr. the Killer himself. Witness, please present some sort of proof that you are, in fact, Shelly the Killer. I understand. Please wait a second. I'm so hungry. Oh shit. Maya! A voice? Mr. Wright, can you confirm anything from this? Yes! The defense has no objections to this person. We are satisfied that this man is indeed Shelly the Killer. It looks like we have run into yet another unexpected turn of events. Well, if it doesn't seem like we're having too many choices under these circumstances. So, now then, witness. There is one thing I would like to confirm before we speak of anything else. And what would that be? At the request of a client, you killed Mr. Wonkarita. Is that correct? It is as you say. I did indeed kill Mr. Kurita. Now that we have answered that, let's move on to the name of your client. Very well. This is all just a bad dream. Yes, that's it, a bad dream. Shelly the Killer. What is he going to say? Oh, shit, okay. There's something I must first state. To an assassin, nothing is more important than the trust between a client and himself. And that is the reason I am here today on this witness stand. It is my wish that you grasp this concept before I give you the name of my client. Mr. the Killer seems to be a very clever man. I'd almost say he seems to be mocking us. While he may appear to be our enemy, Your Honor, Mr. the Killer is only stating the truth. He is no hypocrite. He has always stood by this one belief. What you mean about this trust between his clients and himself thing? It seems to be a level of trust beyond what people like me can comprehend. Well, Mr. Wright, are you ready to cross-examine the witness? I'm really about to cross-examine a walkie-talkie. Yes, Your Honor. There's no way to know what's coming next, so stay cool and collected, Miss Phoenix. There's not much else I can do right now other than press him. We can hear anything you have to say later. Can you please just tell us your clients? I don't think you understand your place, Mr. Attorney. I said this is something I must state. I must first state. Do you know what the word first means? S Sorry, go on. Well, it appears that this witness you can't badger, Mr. Wright. That's only because you don't know about my situation. Nothing. The trust between you and your client. I provide my services in a fast and efficient manner. In exchange, I trust that my clients are discreet about me and my identity. If too many people knew my face, it would be quite troublesome. And that is why you're testifying in this manner? This is my first time one of my clients have ever been accused of murder. I must preserve the killer name so my client can trust me. But couldn't someone stab you in the back and break your trust? It has never happened before, but if it ever did, yes, that person wouldn't be my client for very long. They would certainly. That's enough. Please, no more. Very well. It was only a hypothetical anyway. Alright. And that is the reason I'm here. Okay. That seems a little strange to me. I mean, you're about to tell us the name of your client. I would think that this would be very bad for them. It doesn't matter to me. This client has already broken the rules and acted outside their prescribed role. Their role. This person tried to implicate another of the crime in order to save themselves. And this is a trespass that cannot be forgiven. Who gave you the right to be so high and mighty? To the gentleman who spoke just now. Excuse me, but would you care to die? No, I didn't say anything. The judge had better watch himself. Let's see. We understand, so please tell us the name of your client. I'm afraid I cannot do that. I still have a few things to say before I do. That egomaniacal. Wow, I was stuttering bad, Jesus. It's not good for your health to be so aggravated. You won't live very long if you let everything bother you. Somehow, that's coming from an assassin makes it... That coming from an assassin makes it less than comforting. I don't really care about all that extra stuff. Just tell us the name already. Patience, try to calm down a little. It's important to try and understand his mindset. He seems very steadfast and closed, so you're going to have to work to get him to talk. I'm not his therapist, you know. So I have to actually present him something. What do I even have? I don't have anything that can... Alright. To an assassin, nothing's more important than the trust between him and his client. And that's the reason I'm here today. He mentioned something earlier about breaching some sort of code or something. Uh-huh. I'm sorry, but I was wondering about something you just said. You said that your client had already broken the rules. Yes, that's what I was talking about earlier. A person who frames another is the worst kind of human. And that's why you feel you can betray this person? I have no trust relation with a client who can't understand their assigned role. Just my luck. An assassin with a conscience. Who would have figured? Now then, everyone, do you think you can understand my logic? This case just keeps getting better and better. If you can't, then I'm afraid we can't proceed. Everyone understands your point, I think. Really. In that case, I believe I'm prepared to disclose the information you seek. You have made it crystal clear that you value trust over all else. I believe we are ready. Excellent. Bro, can you tell us who it is now? Okay, I did all this. Let me press this again. That seems a little strange to me. Broken the rules and active scribe role. You... Okay. Reveal the name of my client, don't you agree? Yes, I agree. What is it? Now I can't bring myself to ask the client's name. If you can't ask it, Mr. Wright, then I will. Witness, what's the name of your client who requested the murder of Mr. Juan Corrida? That person's name is... Well... Adrian Andrews. I fucking knew it. Bro, what is happening? What? Witness. That's not who you told me it was earlier. Pray tell, what are you talking about, Mr. Prosecutor? I should think I know my own client, and it is Adrian Andrews. What? This looks so goofy. This can't be. On the phone earlier. What's going on here? My guess is that Mr. the Killer just stabbed Mr. Edgeworth in the back. Stabbed Edgeworth in the back? I'm sure in order to get an audience with this court, Mr. the Killer told him a different name. Matt Ngarde, perhaps. I knew it. This is outrageous. I was deceived. This witness is telling a very serious lie. But you were the one who summoned this witness. Grr. You, Shelly the Killer? My testimony is the truth. The defendant at the moment is Matt Ngarde, am I correct? All I wish to do is to help procure his acquittal. Wow. All of a sudden, it feels like we actually win this. Yeah. The prosecution has failed to provide a motive and has instead provided the suicide note, which is forgery created by the victim. Furthermore, there is a possibility the defendant himself knew that it was a fake. But most definitive of all, we have heard from the assassin himself the name of his client. Mr. the Killer's client who requested the murder was not the defendant at all. No. With all this evidence, it is obvious to me that this means that Mr. Matt Ngarde is innocent. Ah, shit. I seem to have caused you all a bit of confusion. Please continue with your discussion and call me when you have reached a verdict. Bailiff, please bring Miss Adrian Andrews in immediately. What now? With the way things are going, Ngarde will be found innocent. This may be our last chance to save Maya. Yeah, but Edgeworth is right. The killer is lying. And Ngarde, my client, I know he's guilty. Can I live with myself if I win this? Who would have believed that the prosecution's own witness would absolve the defendant. Your Honor, the prosecution requests permission to further question the witness. Shelley the killer is certainly lying under oath. It wasn't me. Or it wasn't me! Listen, everyone, please, that testimony just now, it was all one big lie! Miss Andrews, the suicide note may have been a fake, but that man, Matt, he's the reason Celeste died. And Juan's death, it was all because he got pulled into Matt's twisted world. That testimony just now, you have to believe me, it was a horrible, horrible lie. But Mr. the Killer himself has testified that he named you as his client. No, that's not true. What is going on? This girl done been summoned like 3 times. She about to kill herself on the stands. Also, there is quite a bit of evidence that points to you. The knife and button, donning the nickel samurai costume. But that's... You even have a motive. We know that Miss Celeste's impact was a large part of your life. You wanted to follow her, and you wanted revenge against the 2 who hurt her. I would say you have plenty of reason to want them both dead. No! Mr. Wright! You know the truth. Tell them! Tell them the real story! Who the real killer is! Tell them! Please! Help me! Yes, I know the truth. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor? I believe we have reached the end of this trial. Therefore, I ask the defense for any final words on or opinions. Shit. I have to decide. Do I take the not guilty verdict and save Maya? Or do I throw this chance away and wait for Gumshoe's new evidence? What am I supposed to do? Request the trial to continue. Phoenix. I can't do it, Mia. I can't accept the not guilty. You're a lawyer. I know. But Matt Ngarde is a killer. A murderer. I can't let him get away with this. I can't let someone else take the fall. If I let Miss Andrews be convicted, then I am no better than Ngarde. And even though I don't want to admit it, I have to face the fact that this is because of Edgeworth that I know the real truth. He could have gotten Ngarde convicted so many times over, but he never took a single one of those chances. If I take this verdict right now, I'd be betraying his trust. His trust? I never thought about it until now. I trust him? Yes, you do. Mr. Wright, your opinion, please? The defense requests that we be allowed to further question Mr. the Killer. Am I hearing you correctly, Mr. Wright? Right. But that witness has cleared your client through his testimony. Your job is done. I'm not done yet. To see through witnesses' lies and find the truth. That is my job, Your Honor. There's still more evidence to look at. And I'm sure that once those pieces arrive here in this very courtroom, a miracle will occur. Very well. The trial will continue. Mr. Edgeworth, please re-establish connection with Mr. the Killer. Right away, Your Honor. It's time. Has a verdict been reached? Before that, we would like to talk with you a little more. About? All you need from me was the name of my client. What else could you need from me for? Well, actually, we would like to hear everything you know about this case. That is how things are usually done. What is he talking about, usually done? But what shall we have him testify about? Mr. the Killer, if you don't mind, please testify about your client in more detail. You legal people and your procedures. Is it any wonder no one likes to go to court? Alright, here we go. As if I as if as I have already stated quite a few times, Adrian Andrews is my client. However, one thing I simply cannot overlook is tampering with the scene of the crime. My client did it to frame another for the crime, while pretending to be the first person to discover the body and enter the scene. Adrian Andrews already knew from the very beginning that Juan Corrida was dead. But even more appalling is the creation and planting of the knife and button. That act is what I was referring to when I said my client had broken the rules. Okay, I want to press that real quick. This is a most unexpected turn of events. For the fifth time now? Right, I think you said that a lot this between the past two videos. However, this time, everything has finally been revealed. Are we sure about that? Because we said that a lot. Just a second, Your Honor. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth? We still have the cross-examination to do. But you don't need to question testimony like this. Do you, Mr. Wright? Your Honor, the defense will question the witness. As if I have a choice here. Huh? Why? What this witness has said is nothing but beneficial to the defense's case. If you scrutinize the testimony, then I'll expose the lies in this oh so beneficial testimony, I suppose. I don't understand what is going on anymore. That makes two of us. Make that three, cause boy. Oof, alright. Bro, all this text. What does Mia have to say at the end of this? What are you going to do now, Phoenix? All I can do now is expose the lies. That's true. However, you realize that will be very bad for our client, right? I'm so confused. But the one thing I know for sure is I can't let this trial end yet. Alright. That was a lot of talking. Hold on. Let me save this real quick, so I don't end up going back. I'm gonna go all the way back here and press this. And that's all you have to testify? Yes. And I pray that I will never be called to the stand again. Again? As in you plan to continue? I must. As I have yet to find a person to take my place and become the fourth successor. Actually, how would you like a new life, Mr. Attorney? Excuse me? No. I'm fine, really. Are you really now? I wonder what kind of man the judge thinks I am now. Alright, I saw that. However, one thing I simply cannot overlook is the tampering with the scene of the crime. Did it to frame another for a crime. Pretending to be, Alright, hold on. So you're saying most clients wouldn't do such a thing? That is correct. Usually, most people try to create an alibi for themselves. If you should use my services, Mr. Attorney, I would suggest you plan for your alibi too. No, I already told you, I have no intention of using your services. Ever. Why does he keep looking at me like I'm the one on the trial here? It says she knew from the beginning. But she said he was taking a nap. From the very beginning. That's correct. From before my client visited the room, all of my clients know precisely what the situation is at all times. I wonder if that's really true. That's odd. But even more appalling is... So why did you think the client did that? What do you mean by why? Well, fiddling around at the scene of the crime is pretty risky. And why would someone who has requested a murder go to the crime scene anyway? That is true. I assume it was probably done to frame Mr. Ngarde. If that's the case, then why didn't the person just request that you do it? Sadly, that is not possible. Huh? My job is to kill. That is all. And to leave my business card behind, naturally. The business card is so my client may escape blame. To protect them is my duty. Even if they say it's for revenge, setting someone else up to take your fall. Alright. What do I have? Hold on. Suicide note, the thing, this. Alright, hold on. Tampering with the scene of the crime. Are you talking about the button and the knife? Yes, and my business card. Oh, this card? So that no one has to waste their time, including the police. Always make it a point to make things as easy as possible. You try to make things easy. Business card makes it very easy to identify who carried out the service. He's pretty devoted to his work. But to disregard everything and go and stab the deceased with a knife, and even hide my card from sight, that is something I cannot overlook. It's really hard to tell if he's being truthful or not without him being here. Or pretending. Alright. Did I press this already? I don't remember. So he's. Oh. Oh yeah, I did this already. Uh-huh. Did I say this already? I did this already. Blah, 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 blah. Alright, hold on. Hold on. I'm trying to go forward, damn it. There you go. What is it, Mr. Wright? If I press him the wrong way, it might raise suspicion on his end. But I have to do something to waste more time. Witness, about requesting a hit. Yes. How much is your fee? I see you're also quite a dark-hearted man, Mr. Attorney. Huh? If you would like to talk business, we can do so after the trial. Ah! No. I'm not thinking of hiring... Mr. Wright. Yes? You want to kill me? You want me dead, don't you? What? Why would you think something like that, Your Honor? Guilty! Mr. Phoenix Wright! You hereby declare guilty! Witness, let's continue. Why did you disclose the name of your client? They are your client, are they not? I can't remember if I pressed this part or not either. I would think that most people would be able to overlook a person hiring another to kill. Make sure everything's still recording. Okay. If I had a problem with such a thing, I wouldn't be very effective at my job. Ah, yeah. Well, a change in occupation might be good for you. However, I will say this. Even though I'm the one that does the deed, my clients are always the real guilty party. That goes without saying, Mr. the Killer. And their fate is to live with the knowledge of their guilt on their shoulders. However, my client this time thought that they would run away from the guilt. So do I have to present something? I did this already. Blah, blah, blah. I think I pressed everything already. What do I have? What are you going to do now, Phoenix? All I can do is expose the lies. That's true. However, you realize that this could be very bad for our client. I'm so confused. That didn't help at all. Alright. Let's see. Wooden puzzle. Note. The bear. Hold on. Was placed next to the victim. Hold on. I already knew from the very beginning that Kurita was dead. Because of the card, right? Nope. Alright. I'm not... Alright. I'm confused. Hold on. So I have to present something. I just don't know what that something is. Wait a minute. No. What about the camera? Nope. Alright, bruh. I really lost the cross-examination to a walkie-talkie. This is crazy. Bro. Alright, whatever. I'll be right back. Alright, y'all, I'm back. So I had to rethink these last like 5 videos over again, and then I remembered something, right? When we were looking at this wine glass about 3 videos ago, right? We came to the conclusion that Adrian didn't know that Kurita was dead, and sat this wine glass down, and yeah. So in her mind, she thought that he fainted after losing the Grand Prix or whatever. So yeah, I think it's a stretch, but I think this is the best I'm gonna get. There you go. Oh, okay. Thank you so much for taking the time to testify, Mr. the Killer. What is the meaning of that attitude? When Adrian Andrews entered the victim's room, your client had no idea that Juan Kurita had been murdered. But how? How do you know that? From this wine glass, Your Honor. The glass? Mr. the Killer's supposed client thought Mr. Kurita had only fainted, which is why this glass of tomato juice was poured for the victim. But isn't that just a part of Adrian Andrews' calculated plan? That is not possible, Your Honor. This glass bears the fingerprints of that person. Had this been planned, they would never have left their fingerprints behind. We did discuss this. That is true. I see your point, Mr. Edgeworth. What is your opinion? Strangely enough, I had the same exact thought just now. Witness, how do you explain this strange phenomenon? Isn't it a waste of time to ask about such a minor detail? It's not a very important point anyway, correct? I'm afraid you are mistaken. If Adrian Andrews really is your client as you claim, then your client should have had knowledge of Mr. Kurita's death. If not, then that can only mean that Adrian Andrews was never your client at all. Right. What you gotta say now? How strange. Yes? Why is it that the attorney has yet to raise an objection at this absurd situation? Phoenix? If the killer figures out what you're up to, we're in real trouble. Yeah, I know. Mr. Edgeworth, I'm surprised. You know you can't say things like that without any evidence. Ah, sorry. Well, that is an awfully weak objection for the two of you. Anyway, I am positive there was a contradiction in that testimony. The prosecution requests further testimony concerning when the request was taken. Very well. Right now I have to buy us more time while we wait for the items the killer left behind to get here. I just know that the very outcome of this trial lies with those items. What is taking so long? Jesus! This request came to me, about a week ago. It was a request from my service on the night of the award ceremony. We met at a certain bar to discuss and finalize a few matters. That is what occurred, and I trust my memory and I believe I have made no mistakes. So you physically met your client, huh? That is correct. Meeting one's client is the first step to building trust, in my opinion. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. Oh boy. This was about a week ago. It was a request for my services on the night of the award ceremony. Discuss matters. I want to touch on that no mistakes part. So your client was Adrian Andrews. That is correct. Well, he says the two of them met. But if they did, then there shouldn't be anything wrong with the killer's testimony. Well, there doesn't seem to be anything strange this time around. You have to draw more information from him, but you can't draw his suspicion. If you can do that, you should be able to find a flaw in his testimony somewhere. Talk about a delicate balance. I know, right? Jesus. Alright. 1 week ago. Are you sure? Yes, I am quite sure. I, of course, had my own preparations, and I was barely able to finish. When you request my services, Mr. Attorney, I hope you will keep that in mind. Please, stop. In any case, my client this time had a very specific date and time in mind. A specific date and time? Uh-huh. Did you ask why on that specific night? No. I try to fulfill all conditions of my client's request. But as for why, I only had my suspicions. Your suspicions, huh? So what are these suspicions you had? Why did your client request that night? I'm sure it was all for the bear. The bear? My client spoke of it. I'm sure there will be a bear-shaped figurine in Juan Corrida's room. I would like you to retrieve that item for me. He must be talking about this bear puzzle. Inside that figurine was a suicide note. Naturally, the victim brought it with him to his hotel room. It was planned to publicly disclose its contents at the press conference, after all. That is correct. And if I had not done the job that night, I would not have known where the bear figurine was. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, was the testimony just now of any importance? Yes. The testimony just now has made one thing clear, and that is the client knew the secret of the bear figurine. Huh? Why is everyone so quiet? Mr. Wright, I think all of us already knew that. Oh, really? Miss, please continue with your testimony. Dude, why would you make me say this? So you physically met with Adrian Andrews, right? Of course I did. What was that? Yeah, that brief pause was suspicious. Witness, I would like for you to give us a few more details. I always meet my clients as a matter of principle. I have never taken a request by telephone or mail. And why is that? That's because I value the trust between a client and myself above all else. Shit. Um, and the only way to establish that is to speak to the client with looking them in the eye. Well, Mr. Wright? Yes. Of course it was very important, Your Honor. If Mr. the Killer had met his client before the murder, then it's unlikely he is mistaken. So you're saying that his client really was Adrian Andrews. I guess so. You see, it's just as I said. Ugh. I'm so lost. Who the heck am I supposed to be helping here? Calm down, Phoenix. Think carefully and relax. Now then, would the witness please continue? I think I read that already. Alright. It was on the request of the... Hold on. Blah, blah, blah. Press further. What happens if I press no? The bear. My client spoke of it. I'm sure there will be a bear-shaped figurine in Juan's room. Retrieve the item. It was not important. In the end, it's just his conjecture. No, Your Honor, I don't think it's very important. Well then. Alright, let me see something. Hold on. It was a request for my service on the night of the ceremony. To discuss matters. Let's see. What was that brief pause? Yes, what was that brief pause? I have never taken a request by telephone or mail. And why is that? Because I value the trust between my clients. I want to say this is important too, but when I say yes, they didn't do anything. Of course, it was very important, Your Honor. Okay. Hold on. You have to draw more information out of them, but you can't draw a suspicion. So I have to press him for shit, then. I think I did that already. Press him further. The bear. We talked about this already. I said yes, but nothing happened. Oh, there you go. Phoenix said something along the lines of the client knew one thing. The client knew the secret of the bear figurine. Why did it have me press it twice? Oh, really? Bro. Hold on. Then use the bear then. What the fuck? What? Nigga, this don't make no sense. Bro, did I save? I don't remember no more. Bro. That's what occurred. I'm confused. Hold on, let me read that again. So your client was Adrian Andrews. That is correct. Well, he says the two of them met. But if they did, there shouldn't be anything wrong with the killer's testimony. Bro, what? Hold on. Let me read these again. We met at a certain... Hold on. This request came to me, about a week ago. It was a request for my service on the night of the award ceremony. We met at a certain bar to finalize a few matters. What is a few matters? Is this bear again? Dude! It's either that or the damn suicide note, dude. Alright, I'll be right back, y'all. Give me a second. Now I'm doing this with 1 bit of health. Now I'm gonna be saving it, or savory every bit of the way. Is it the suicide note? Oh my fucking god. I'll be right back. I'm not even about to play with y'all right now. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I'm fresh out of ideas. Like, I felt like I had to press the same things twice to make them say something different. And I pressed every single thing last time and it said I was wrong. Blah, 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 blah. Press it further. That brief pause shit is still suspicious to me. I said yes last time. Did I not press no the other time either? Why he meets his clients is not important, and that wasn't the point. Witness, please stop sidestepping my questions. What do you mean by that? My question was, did you really meet Adrian Andrews in person? I've already told you, Mr. Wright, I did. It was only through talking with him face to face that I began to trust him. Him! See, he messed up there. That's when I thought I can trust this person as my client. It's true what they say about talking face to face. Well, Mr. Wright? Yes! If I heard... Bro, I could have swore I said it wasn't important last time unless that was for something else. Man, anyway. If I heard what I think I heard just now, then I think I've got him. Your Honor, I believe the testimony you heard just now was of the utmost importance. Huh? Really? If that's the case, witness, please include the statement you just now in your testimony. Very well. There, that. But as we now know, that was not how it turned out, correct? What do you mean? Adrian Andrews turned out to be a client who couldn't stick to the rules, right? Well, yes. I suppose you are correct. So I would like to check one last time. Are you sure your testimony is accurate? No! It's not! Which piece of evidence do I use to prove it? Do I just click on the profile? Hold on. There's nothing. Thank you. I'd like to go over this one more time. You met Adrian Andrews at a bar and took the request at the time. Yes, that is correct. And that's when you thought he was trustworthy? How many times must I repeat myself? Yes, that is correct. I'm sorry, but that is an impossible tale. What? Shelley the Killer? You have never met the real Adrian Andrews. Why would you say that? Because Adrian is a girl. Because you made one very big slip up about her. So what is the issue? He gets it now. What did you say? Say just now about her? If you had ever met Adrian in person, one look would have told you that she is a woman. Oh shit. Okay. Order in the court. Mr. Wright, what is the meaning of this? This witness testified to the following: that he always meets face to face with his clients when taking their request. But he has never met Adrian Andrews in person. Yes, Your Honor, that is exactly the point. That means Mr. the Killer's client could not have been Miss Adrian Andrews. Ew, why is it leaking oil? Mr. Edgeworth, I understand your logic on this one. However, why would the assassin make such a basic mistake? I believe it was to do with her name, Your Honor. Her name? Yes, Adrian Andrews is without a doubt a very androgynous name. Yes, I see. Unluckily for Mr. the Killer, the entire time he was on the stand, no one had stated Adrian Andrews' gender. And so, he simply picked the wrong gender to go with. What? What is going on? Where is this evidence at? This is taking too long. Shelley the Killer. This court demands an explanation. I think somehow I must have mixed up this client with another. So does that mean you remember something different now? Yes, of course. Please, if you would allow me to testify once more. I know he's going to spit out more lies. Very well, but this time, please give us the truth and nothing but the truth. I'm so sick of this dude testifying. Where's the shit at? Yes, now I remember. I took that request by mail. Did you just say you don't take shit by mail? Anyway, there have been many times I took a job without having met my client. The request was for the murder of Juan Karada and two or three other small things. When I saw the name at the end of the letter, I thought my client had to be a man. So he took this job through a letter. He didn't mention anything about a letter in his earlier testimony, which means he's definitely lying. Be careful, Phoenix. If you break the assassin's testimony completely, it's over for us. I know, I can't make him suspicious, but I think we're okay. Like we can do this. As long as he's standing there across from me. No matter how strong of a punch I throw, he'll counter it. Now then, let's begin the cross-examination. This trial is good, but it takes too long. Hold on. Real quick. But did you just say you always meet your clients? Yes, I suppose I did say that. However, there are some clients for whom a meeting is simply not possible. But didn't you meet your client this time? No, I did not. Oh, come now. Let's stop with the games of cat and mouse. Using your silkiest voice is not going to work on me. Alright then, just cough it up and confess. Mr. Wright, you can't badger a witness with such harsh words. You're a lawyer, so behave like one and present evidence instead of mindlessly yelling. Now then, do you have any proof that Mr. the Killer met with the client? Nigga, no! No. I'm sorry, Your Honor. Unfortunately, I don't have any proof. I see. Your line of questioning was just another waste of time. Sadly for us, Your Honor, that is the nature of right and wrong. There have been... Hold on. And that's why you not meet certain you cannot meet certain clients. Recently, I have been receiving more requests. If I met each and every client, I would lose some nice business opportunities. Nice business opportunities. On top of which, the times have changed. It is now the age of information and computers, correct? I have joined the times and now take requests via electronic mail. Electronic mail. Do you have to mail that in a specific insulated envelope? Ah, I'm very sorry. I despise the shortening of words. What I meant by electronic mail is what is commonly referred to as email. Email? In a contest of mimicry, the judge would beat a parrot, hands down. Ahem. Anyways, so you took this job without having met your client, and the request was for the murder of Juan Corrida and 2 or 3 other small things. So you're saying that you never saw your client's face, not even once? I did, once. It was when I went to give my client the figurine. Yes, I see. But Mr. Andrews was wearing a mask at the time. A mask? The Nickel Samurai mask, I'm guessing. Mr. Wright, what do you have to say about this? Do you have any problems with this piece of testimony? If he was wearing a mask, yes! One thing does sort of stick out, Your Honor. Witness, I think you most definitely saw your client's face. Let's recall Mr. Powers' testimony. After the award ceremony, I went by myself to Matt's room. Matt was standing there in front of his room, still in his Nickel Samurai costume. Matt gave the bellboy a tip. You received quite a large roll of cash from Mr. Engarde. Yep, that did happen. And at the time, he was not wearing his Nickel Samurai mask. Oh no! Oh shit! Order! Yes, now that you mention it, I do remember that. Witness. Yes, that night I did wander the floor as a bellboy. I received plenty of tips that night for carrying juice to the various rooms. Is that so wrong? Huh? The man who gave me that tip was not my client. He was probably just a very generous person. I'm sorry, but sadly, we are not nearly so generous here. If I could receive large rolls of cash by simply bringing people things on trays, then why on earth would I stand around here prosecuting? Oh, the deja vu. And isn't his salary more than enough for one man? And where's your evidence that the large roll of cash was not in fact a tip? Come, Mr. Edgeworth, show me the money. What? Mr. Attorney? Yes? You know, I think your line of questioning has been a little strange. In fact, I would say you don't seem to believe Miss Andrews is my client. Oh no, it's not like that at all. I just think lies aren't a good thing, you know? Oh, I know and agree. Lies are not a good thing at all. I think we're on the same page now, aren't we, Mr. Attorney? Remember, if I feel threatened in any way, I am free to cut contact at any time. I'm sorry, please forgive my foolishness. If only you were this apologetic all the time. Anyway, I don't see a huge contradiction here. Therefore, you may continue, witness. Bro, why are y'all having me speak all this if it's not right? We've pretty much reached the end of our rope here. Huh? It seems like we're still okay to me. And that's exactly what is so bad. At the rate we're going, we'll end up completely destroying the killer's lie. If we don't do that, you already know how serious of a situation will put us in. Oh yeah. All I can do now is pray that those items reach us in time. What the hell is taking so long? Bro! Gumshoe, why your stupid ass end up in a car accident? Bro, Very Big Circus could not have been that far from this courthouse. Let's see. Let me drink my water. Hold on. Alright. That's the only thing I didn't press. 2 or 3 other things. Yes. And what were those other things? A few other things that have nothing to do with this case. What should I do? Should I let him slide with that? It'd be really bad if I pushed his buttons the wrong way and he got mad. Whether or not they're related to this case is for the court to decide. Mr. Attorney? Yes? Everything I said from the beginning has been nothing but beneficial to your client. Which is why I wonder what is pushing you to continue with this cross-examination. Could it be that you're planning to betray your own client? I smell the stench of a backstabber. And should you turn out to be one... Wait! Oh no, this is looking really bad. I shouldn't press my luck. Alright, I have to think. Nigga, we don't got much of a choice. We'll just have to worry about Maya on the back burner later. Witness, this is a very important matter. Please cooperate and tell us what these other jobs your client requested were. If it's truly that important, I suppose I don't have much of a choice. The bear figurine. The bear figurine. After the assassination of the target, I was to find that figurine. I was told that this job was just as important as the actual killing. And where was that figurine? It was inside Mr. Kurata's suitcase. And then, what did you do next? I handed it over to my client right away. You gave it to your client? Interesting. This information certainly sounds important to me. Witness, please include what you just stated in your testimony. As you wish. One of these was to find the bear and give it to Adrian. I found this figurine at Mr. Ngarde's mansion. If you gave it to Miss Andrews, then what was it doing there? I was waiting for her there. That was also part of the plan, to frame Mr. Ngarde, I'm sure. That makes a lot of sense. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any problems with this piece of testimony? Yes! Because why is she coming to his house? So the killer says he gave the figure to Miss Andrews. But I know somewhere in that statement, there is a contradiction. And yet, let me save just in case they try and dock points from me. I know that if I present something trivial here, he will cut connection on his end. If you want to make a strong point, Phoenix, you have to present strong evidence. She's right. So now what, Dr. Wright? Present the evidence! Witness, let's go over this one more time. You gave Miss Andrews the bear figurine, and she told you to take the bear and wait for her at Ngarde Mansion? Is that correct? Yes. Where are you going with this? Well, I think maybe you might have remembered a few things incorrectly. What? This is a battle of wits. I can't let up on him. I don't think it's possible for Miss Andrews to have been the recipient of this bear. Alright, hold on. Let's see. I don't think it's possible for Miss Andrews to have been the recipient of the bear. How do I prove that? Found inside of the figurine. I mean, if it's found at the place, if it's found at the mansion, and only Wright and Andrews know about it, and the only thing in it was the suicide note. Hold on. I don't think it is possible for Miss Andrews to have been the recipient of this bear. I don't think it's the bear itself. I don't think the game is that basic. But it's either the suicide note. Well, hold on. I think it's the suicide note. I don't think this is it. The suicide note? Shelly the killer? Okay. I'm getting somewhere. Shelly the killer. If you had really given the bear to Miss Andrews, then this item should not have been inside. This item? I see where you're going. Yep, that's where I'm going. Where's everyone going? Do I need to pack a suitcase? Your Honor, please think back to Miss Andrews' testimony. Now I was going to burn it, for her sake. If even for a single minute, this bear had actually been in Miss Andrews' hands, I'm sure she would have taken the suicide note out and burned it. Order, order, order. So that's where you two were going. So by the very fact that this suicide note was still inside the bear, it tells us that your client didn't know how to dismantle the puzzle, or disassemble the puzzle. Which means, Your Honor, that it is impossible for Adrian Andrews to be the client. Oh no! Order! Order! Mr. Phoenix Wright? I'm sure I mentioned this before. How I hate traitors above all else. I think your cross-examination has clearly demonstrated something to me. You must wish to break your end of our agreement. No, that's enough. If that's your intention, then there's only one thing for me to do. Wait, please! Gentlemen, ladies, please excuse me. I have a matter that I must attend to. No! Please! Not that! Please wait! Mr. Attorney, bring this trial to a speedy end and I may stay my hand. Otherwise... Bro, what is happening? What in the... Mr. Wright, are you... Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor? I didn't understand the witness's outburst just now. Do you think there's a need to hear more testimony, or is this enough? Well, we should... Edgeworth, we can't do this. If we keep this up, Maya, she'll... The prosecution... What has come over everyone? Even you are... The prosecution... rests. What is going on around here? The prosecution has no further questions, Your Honor. What? Bro. Well, I never thought I'd see the day. This is a most unusual situation. If the prosecution rests with no further questions, then the prosecution has failed to uphold its stance. If that is the case, then even though I'm reluctant, I must believe that Mr. Ngarde's or Mr. the Killer's testimony is accurate. That would mean that Shelly the Killer's client is Adrian Andrews. Oh my fucking god. She is not the killer, dude. Look, at this point, Phoenix, just throw her under the bus at this point. She done enough. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. If I end this trial here, right now, then your client, Matt Ngarde, will be declared innocent. And in his place, Adrian Andrews will be charged with murder. Miss Andrews will be charged with murder? Yes, dude, we've been at this for about an hour and 20 minutes. And like another 3 hours of recording on top of that. The prosecution has no further questions, so we will now hear the defense's final remarks. Bailiff, please bring the defendant, Matt Ngarde, to the stand. The items from the killer's hideout didn't make it in time. We tried as hard as we could, but it looks like our time has run out. I can't believe it. The outcome now lies in your hands. Nigga, how? Dude, did the old guy finally decide? To be honest, I can't think of you as a truly innocent and good person. You have done enough evil to drive a woman to suicide. But at least one of the at least on the charge of murder, it would appear you are innocent. Huh. Oh shit. So, I guess even the old fuddy-duddy figured me out. Mr. Ngarde? What an atrocious lawyer I have, giving his own client up like this. And that refreshing like a spring breeze crap. It's just as atrocious, don't you agree? Anyway, get on with it and pronounce me innocent already. Right, Mr. Lawyer. Shit. Should I side with justice? Or should I side with Maya's life? You better get Ngarde a guilty sentence, okay? But if I did that, Maya will die. But if I say he's innocent, this Andrews will be charged as the murderer. Do I say she's guilty or not guilty? Either choice I make, someone's life is going to end. You know, we don't give a fuck about Adrian. It all hinges on what I choose. Now then, Mr. Wright, let's hear the defense's final statement on this matter. If the person who hired the assassin was Adrian Andrews, then your client, Mr. Matt Ngarde, is innocent. There's no need to ask, old man. After all, my lawyer is going to say what I want, aren't you? Right? I can't do this, but I have to decide something. I can't count on the evidence to help me anymore. I have to listen to my heart. My client, Matt Ngarde, is... They really want me to choose! Wow! Shit. I know what I said about Adrian, but this is hard. Fuck. Okay, my client, Matt Ngarde, is... If I say he's guilty, then Maya will die. If I say he's not guilty, then Adrian will go to jail for murder. Ah! What are we waiting for? We are waiting for your answer, Mr. Wright. Matt and Garde, your client deserves an answer. Maya, I'm sorry. Matt and Garde is...
Objection!
What the hell? Franziska? Franziska von Karma? What are you doing at the hospital? What are you doing here? Ow! You see now, don't you, Mr. Phoenix Wright? This is exactly why you should never take your eyes off of that scruffy fool. Did you bring them? The final pieces? Do you have them? You should know better than to ask that, Mr. Miles Edgeworth. Von Karma is perfect in every way. The evidence is here in perfect condition. So, don't worry about Scruffy. He's fine. His injuries are minor. All the items are inside this. What a filthy old coat this is. That's Gumshoe's. I can spot his tattered rags anywhere. I apologize for its ugliness, but there is nothing else to wrap the items in. What are the items, Franziska? Come on now. I fought long and hard to get this whole trial. For all what's inside that raggedy coat, I'm sure that inside the coat lies a crucial piece of evidence. Your Honor, inside that filthy coat are the defense's final pieces of evidence. Your final evidence? I need these now. This trial is already over. All that remains is for me to hand down my verdict. I do not believe that any evidence presented now would change the outcome of this trial. What? Your Honor, it is our duty to examine every piece of evidence, down to the last. I request that Miss Von Karma be allowed to present these pieces of evidence. I suppose you are right, Mr. Edgeworth. I grant permission to do so. However, this one obvious rule applies here. If these items do not bring up any new points, then they will not be accepted by this court. Now, Miss Von Karma, if you please. These pieces of evidence are items left by the killer during his escape from the police. He must have been in quite a rush. Yes, Your Honor. The killer left 3 pieces of evidence. Somewhere among the evidence that we are about to see, there will be something that will turn this whole situation around, like a miracle. I'm sure of it. That's all we can hope for. The first item is a pistol. Does the killer have anything to do with... No. I'm pretty sure there was no gun involved in this case. There's no real benefit to hear about it. Please present the next piece of evidence. Okay, we still take the pistol. Alright, pistol. One of the items retrieved from the killer's hideout, nothing else is known. A second piece of evidence is this videotape. I bet the killer took that from Ngarde's mansion. Question for more details. Have you checked the contents of that tape? Unfortunately, there was no time to. Oh yeah. But I would speculate that this tape is very important. Why would you say that? Because he came back to his hideout for it. The killer went back for it. That's right. It looks like he was trying to recover it. He injured 3 of the officers at the site. But somehow it looks like they managed to protect it from the killer. Surely the killer is no ordinary man. Videotape. One of the items retrieved. The killer violently tried to recover it. Contents unknown. The last piece of evidence is this bellboy's uniform. Is that uniform from the Gatewater Hotel? Nigga, we don't give a fuck about this right now. I don't think this is going to help us as much as all. Thank you very much, Miss Von Karma. I think that's enough. Hmm. Bellboy uniform. One of the items retrieved from the killer's hideout. Nothing else is known. That's all I have to present, Your Honor. It's just as I thought. And what is that, Your Honor? I'm sure we were under normal circumstances. These items from Shelley the Killer's hideout would be very important clues. However, our question is not who did the killing. It is who was the client. Yes, that is correct. And these three items do not tell us anything about that. Are you stupid? Thanks for your hard work, Miss Von Karma. You may step down. Wait, Your Honor. Please allow me to examine these new evidence. This new evidence. Overruled. This court already has all the evidence it needs to hand down a verdict. Wonderful. Absolutely splendid. This judge is a brilliant man, isn't he? Is this the end? Phoenix. I knew it. There's no such thing as a miracle in this world, is there? I think you're wrong. I think they do exist. But you have to make the miracle happen. You've come this far. You can't give up now. But, I'm no matter how you think about it, it's... Try, for my sake. Just think about it for a second. There are two ways out of this situation for us. Two. The first... making Garde wish from the bottom of his soul for a guilty verdict. Huh? The killer will always place his client's wishes first. If Ngarde himself wishes to be convicted, then he will let his hostage go. That may be true, but that's asking me to do the impossible. The second way. Force the killer to end his contract with Ngarde. If the killer were to no longer think of Ngarde as his client, then he would let Maya go. Mia! That's even more impossible! He is a man who values his duty towards his clients above all else. I know both of these seem like impossible feats at first, but if you could make either one happen, it would truly be a miracle. The bigger problem is, the judge has already said he doesn't need any more evidence. The pieces that he was just shown, he's not accepting them. Phoenix. Think things over from the other side. Isn't that what has always worked for us? The other side. Wait, does she mean... You mean to turn things around? Phoenix, the judge says he doesn't need the evidence. If that's the case, then who does need it? The person who needs the evidence. The defense, prosecution, and the judge, we have seen all the pieces of evidence. And that is how we have come to know the truth. But there is one person who has yet to see them all. And that person does not know the truth. That truth, it may be what will bring about the miracle in the end. There are no objections this time, correct? Now then, I will pronounce my verdict. Why don't we all respectfully sit back and listen, kids? I have already told you, Mr. Wright. This court does not need any more evidence. I'm not saying it as us that need the evidence, Your Honor. I've been at this trial for so long that I'm yawning. Then you want to show the evidence to that person? Yes, Your Honor. Please, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, for your sake, with such passion, I will grant you one chance. One chance? Save. Please show your evidence to whom Please show your evidence to who you think is the right person. That's impossible to turn the situation around in one try. One try. That is all I will permit. I have to try to remember everything that has happened up to this point. Think, Phoenix. Think. There must be a way to save Maya while taking Ngarde down at the same time. Now then, Mr. Wright, let's not waste any more time. Who would you like to show this evidence to? Is it her? Hold on. Hold on. Shelly to kill. This man got 2 profiles. That's hilarious. Show the evidence to Shelly. I see. And now, tell this court one piece of evidence you like to show this person. The tape. Well, what do you think, Mr. Edgeworth? I think there is some merit in showing this evidence to that witness. Bailiff, please bring the transceiver from earlier. Alright, it looks like I managed to convince him. Oh, God. Maya, she's okay, right? Didn't I tell you to concern yourself with bringing about a speedy end to this trial? Now, if I understand correctly, you wish to show me one piece of evidence. Yes. One is all I need. I have here a videotape. It was found at your hideout. I hear you injured 3 officers in your attempt to get this back. That was most regrettable. However, it was an order from my client. I was told to protect that videotape. I thought so. I'm afraid I seem to have failed in that regard. Do you know the contents of this tape? I was sternly told by my client to not watch it, so I have absolutely no idea. Absolutely. You are on this tape. Or actually, you are on this tape. Me? There was a video camera hidden at the crime scene. Your actions were being recorded. What? Is that true, Mr. Wright? Who was it that planted a camera? Well, the only person who could have placed a camera at the scene of the crime would be your client, naturally. That was Adrian Andrews. Be quiet and listen, Your Honor. Yes, sir. Your client specified a place and time for you, isn't that right? Yes. That was so they could film your... That was so they could film you. I had no idea. Mr. Wright, why would my client do such a thing? I would like to know why. Why did Matt and Garde film the crime scene? The reason why he did that was is my ticket to this whole mess. Out of this whole mess. There's only one reason why your client would secretly film the crime scene. He didn't trust your skills, he wanted to blackmail you. Wanted to see Juan get his. He wanted to blackmail you. Your client once told me something very interesting. We were talking about you, and this is what they said. But I'm no weakling. I don't believe anyone, least of all assassins. Oh, come now, Mr. Wright. Assassins aren't above blackmail. Yes, that's where the video comes in. With that, I can keep him at bay, even blackmail him if I want. He did say all this. Your client didn't trust you at all. They were thinking of using this video to blackmail you. What do you have to say to that, Shelly the Killer? Ugh. Oh no! It looks like it looks like I was being deceived from the very beginning. Yes, by a natural. That's the kind of person they are. Your client is a person who only thinks and plots of how to use the people around them to protect themselves from any and all dangers that may arise. That is the true nature of your client. I have one question for the witness. Yes. You told us one thing numerous times during your testimony. You said that you detest traitors most of all. Yes, that's right. But what if the traitor was your own client? What would you do then? Ooh. What would you do? That's obvious. I would break our contract in that case. I figured it out. And then, that client would become my next target. For the honor of the killer name, even if it takes an eternity. I would follow that person to the ends of the earth to exact my punishment. I think we did it, guys. I see. That's all I wanted to know. So the traitor becomes the killer's next target. Ah, I get it. This is how we turn the case around. Mr. Wright? Yes? My contract with my client is now over as of now. I seem to have a new job on my hands. I will now return to you your precious item. What the? I'm not an item! Uh, Maya, I thought I'd never see you again. Oh, thank goodness. This trial appears to have come to its conclusion. However, I am sort of, I don't quite know what just happened there with the, ah! Miss Von Karma, where did that, she's all, she always has you in her sights. Now, I do believe it's time to finally hand down a verdict. He's sweating. Yes! You finally get yours! Thank God! Thank God this trial's over. I've been at this for an hour and 23 minutes. Or 43 minutes. Mr. Ngarde, it looks like somehow you've got what you wanted. You will finally receive the acquittal you wanted so badly. You should be happy. But before that, I would like to make one final statement. Sometime in the near future, one very betrayed assassin may appear before you. Yes, sir. Needless to say, that man is very good at what he does. I'm sure you would understand what I mean if you watch this video. Help me. Now then, Your Honor, the verdict if you please. Is this alright with you, Mr. Wright? Yes, plenty. We have finally reached the end of a very long battle. Whether he's convicted or acquitted, there is no escape for him now. Go on, Phoenix. Plead whichever way your heart gives you. Right, Chief. Plead guilty! Matt Ngarde, even though I am a lawyer, I cannot make your crime disappear. I think a guilty verdict is appropriate here. Me? My wonderful self? Guilty? Even if you got an acquittal, the instant you set foot outside the detention center, your life would be in danger. No matter which way you look at it, you can't run away from your crime anymore. No! Ah! Oh God. Ew. Oh, make sure everything's still recording. Alright, hold on. Alright. As always, it looks like we have uncovered the real truth. We? I don't remember you helping much in this. Right. Mr. Edgeworth, how's Matt and Garde? I have left Miss Von Karma in charge of his incarceration. I'm sure he's getting a full course meal of whipped leather right about now. Very good. That was a close one, wasn't it, witness? Yes. I plan to pay my debt to society for my own crime, Your Honor. The first time I was called to the witness stand during this trial, all I felt was despair. She must be talking about the time Edgeworth really went after her. I guess she's trying to forgive him for what he did. This witness, how should I put it? She has an illness. If you're going to say you would choose death, that is of no concern to me. That is kind of low. I'm not gonna lie. But after that, when I was alone at the detention center, that's my first time I really saw myself for who I am. And today, when the two of you use your combined strengths to convict Matt, I, I felt like I finally been saved. Wow, this is the first time I've ever seen her smile. I am really happy that you two were in charge of this case. This is the happy music I like to hear. I really don't know how to express how I feel at this moment. This is the first time I felt comfortable with myself, with who I am. Thank you so much, everyone. It looks like we've resolved everything at last. As for myself, there are still a few things I'm confused about. But everyone seems to be in good spirits. And that is good enough for me. That is all. This court is adjourned. Yes, sir! Thank God. It is 3:10 on March 14th, 2026. This trial is finally over. Thank God. You were great out there, Phoenix. What I did out there was right, wasn't it? This is the first time you've not gotten your client off. You got them a guilty verdict this time. But you have to look past all of that to what's really important. You now realize that there is something more than just getting a not guilty, right? Yes, I understand now. Phoenix, think back for a second. Think to the moment before Miss Von Karma arrived with the final piece of evidence. Think about the incredible decision you had to make. Now then, Mr. Wright, let's hear the defense's final statement on this matter. I can't count on the evidence to help me anymore. I have to listen to my heart. Should I side with justice or should I save Maya's life? My client Matt and Garde is he guilty or is he not guilty? Those were your choices then. And your answer spoke to what being a lawyer means to you. Right. Edgeworth, I have good news. Maya's now safe in police custody. Really? Pearls, you're telling us the truth, right, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, she's quite safe. She's on her way here as we speak in a patrol car. Okay, I'm not doing all that. That made my throat hurt throughout this playthrough. You did it! You really did it, Mr. Nick! Ow! She punches deceptively hard for a kid. I believed in you. I kept saying to myself, Mr. Nick will save her. Mr. Nick will save her. Okay. Thanks. Oh, what's wrong? Miss Von Karma, Why are you upset? About earlier. Thanks. Ow! Why are you still smiling, Mr. Phoenix Wright? You lost. Your perfect win record has been completely crushed. Has now been crushed, sorry. And yet, you're still happy? I don't think you'll ever understand, Miss Von Karma. How dare you? Don't worry. She may in time. After all, I was like that myself until a year ago. Edgeworth. For my own personal victories and for guilty verdicts. I used every dirty trick in the book, and so my win record remained spotless. But a man appeared and stood fast against that selfish me. I fought him in my usual manner and tasted my first defeat. I felt like I had lost everything because of that. And then, yep, it was my turn to sit in the defendant's chair. And I was saved by the person I called my enemy. I couldn't forgive myself for all that had happened, so I left the prosecutor's office. And I left that note. Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth chooses death. As well you should have. A prosecutor who has shamed himself with defeat should crawl into a hole and die. But that was not what happened. After I left the prosecutor's office, I finally came to realize something. And it was in that moment of clarity that everything began to change. What foolish nonsense. We prosecutors use anything we can to attack the defendant. But every time we did so, no matter how desperate the situation, instead of giving up like most people, that man would hold strong with his undying faith. And then, before I knew it, I began to trust in that man as well. What? You trusted your enemy? It doesn't matter how many underhanded tricks a person uses. The truth will always find a way to make itself known. The only thing we can do is to fight with the knowledge we hold and everything we have. Erasing the paradoxes one by one. It's never easy. We claw and scratch for every inch. But we will always eventually reach that one single truth. This I promise you. The truth? Yes, that's the reason why prosecutors and defense attorneys exist. And I'm sure you knew that already, didn't you, Wright? That's why you couldn't forgive me. This man who went into hiding. Isn't that right? This man who only had his sights set on victory, who ran away into the night. Ah! Is Mr. Edgeworth right, Mr. Nick? You really let me down. When you disappeared, I felt betrayed. The reason I decided to become a lawyer to begin with was because I believed in the things you said to me. All those years ago. They did say this in the last game. And you betrayed your own words. That's why, 1 year ago, I made up my mind. I decided that the Miles Edgeworth I knew had died. At least, that's what I told myself. You pathetic fool. Miss Von Karma! I don't want to hear your wretched whimpering of a disgraced loser. Von Karma is someone who is destined to be perfect. You already lost to me twice this game. Don't let me get to this third game and I face you too and you lose like 3 more cases. Don't play with me. Miles Edgeworth, you are no longer worthy. Aren't you no longer worthy? You lost 2 trials to me already. Give it up. You're no longer worthy of being a Von Karma. And neither am I. Oh. Okay. It's over. It's all over. Franziska threw something on the ground just now. This is an electromagnetic receiver. Isn't that the thing she used to track Detective Gumshoe? I'll return this to the precinct later. There's something else. She left her whip. Isn't that Miss Von Karma's whip? I'll never set foot in another courtroom again. I'm sure that's what she's saying by this action. We should keep this, right? Okay. Nick! There we go. That's my favorite side character. Maya! Mystic Maya! Okay, I'm not doing that. Well, okay, for the one time. Mystic Maya! I feel like that was good. There's the thumbnail right there. Hold on. Shit. Damn it. I'll just pull it up on Google later. I'm definitely using that as the thumbnail though. Oh, Nick, I knew you'd come through. You got Engarde convicted like I knew you would. And on top of that, you even rescued me. Well, of course I did. You know I would never desert you. But we sure pressed our luck this trial. You're really lucky to be standing here. Whatever. Look, it's over, okay? Besides, if I did croak, I'll just come back and haunt you like a bad ghost through Pearly. Is it really that easy to do something like that? Thanks a lot, Nick. Don't mention it. Maya. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm relieved you're alright. Hey, it looks like you've made some real progress, Mr. Edgeworth. Well, I suppose I'm a little different from who I was a year ago. Heh. The fuck is that? Alright. I think it's time to get out of here, out of this depressing place. Huh? Where are we going? Food, Nick! Food! Grub! Chow! I'm starved! Oh right, you did say you were hungry. I'm so hungry, even you look like a nice juicy burger on a bun to me, Nick. You think I look like a burger? I'm a prime rib at least. Come with us, Mr. Edgeworth. Please! If you insist. Alright. So how about we hit up our usual burger joint? Don't be silly, Nick. Huh? This case messed up that awesome evening and got in the way of my gourmet food. So I decided that we have to make it up by having another feast. Another feast? Come on, Nick. Food! That's how I'm feeling right now. It's what, 3:30 just about? Hey pal, sorry to keep you guys waiting. Gumshoe, are you alright? Yeah, but I'm really embarrassed. I didn't think I would hit a telephone pole of all things. You hit a telephone pole. Bro, stay off the road. Your license needs to be revoked. A telephone pole? Then it wasn't a red light that got him? Hey, you did it again, city boy. I felt like my dear old heart was gonna give out on me, and I ain't joking. Yeah, it was more exciting than the very last episode of The Steel Samurai. Thanks. Now looky here, Mr. Snotty Prosecutor. Don't you reckon you bullied Mr. Wright too hard? If you don't start being a lot nicer to him, he might just kick it. Tonight even. I'll keep that in mind. Well, come on now. Everyone gather round. Y'all gonna get your picture taken by a genuine professional photographer. Looked like Lana brought herself a new camera. Hold on, hold on. Let me see if I can turn. Yeah, I can still turn off my webcam. Well, pal, at least we can put this messy case behind us now. Come on, tonight's all about eating, so let's chow down, pal. Amen to that, pal. Amen. Am I gonna get a different picture? Oh, shit. You know, it. When you think about it, you were the one who saved the day, detective. Huh? Me? You think so? He's right. If it wasn't for the 3 items you took, I think the trial would have had a very different ending. Ah, well, you know, it's Huh? Wait. That's odd. When I ran off with the things from the killer's hideout, I was sure I took 4 things in total, sir. What? 4? Yeah, I'm sure I put one of the items in my coat pocket. There was a 4th item? Oh, come on, y'all, it's over. But whoo boy, I tell you, you really are something else. Between getting accused of murder and getting kidnapped, never a dull moment with you, huh? You think? Why does she look so happy about that? But being shut away for 2 whole days? Weren't you scared? Yeah, it was really scary. I felt so hopeless. So to keep my mind off of things, I drew a picture. Sounds like you had it rough, gal. So where's this picture of yours? Yeah, I want to see it. I want to see Mystic Maya's picture. You know, I don't know where it went. Aw, that's too bad. Well, it's alright. It wasn't anything important anyway. Ah, it sure is nice to finally see them both smiling again. Who's calling? What is it, Edgeworth? This thing is picking something up. Ah, that's Miss Von Karma's receiver. Thanks to her, I had the most awful experience of my life, sir. I can't believe she stuck a tracking device on me. That's odd. Even though you're standing right here, the tracking device seems to be in a different location. Oh, it's probably busted or something, sir. Well, it doesn't matter. I'm afraid it's about time for me to excuse myself. I still have some work to do. Huh? But Mr. Edgeworth, you haven't eaten anything yet. And you've eaten way too much, you glutton. I had fun tonight. Now, if you'll excuse me. Wait! What? I just wanted to say, thanks, Edgeworth. You really saved me out there. If anyone should say thanks, it should be me, right? I feel like words alone aren't enough here. I wonder if there is anything I can give him to express how I feel. Bro, I don't know. What could I possibly give you to show off my gratitude? There's not a person I can give you. Not the figurine. Bellboy uniform. Thrown away by Franciscan Bar Karma. It has a certain mysterious nostalgia to it. What about her whip? What's this? Thank you. It's all thanks to you two. You and her. You don't need to thank me. I was only doing my job. It looks like Edgeworth has left, Mr. Nick. Hey, Mystic Maya. Yes, Pearly? I guess you two can go back to doing lovey-dovey, right? Or being lovey-dovey, right? You and Mr. Nick, I mean? Pearly! Would you cut it out already? You're embarrassing me! Anyways. So who's paying for this lovely dinner party? As if you need to ask. Everyone say thank you to Nick! Huh? Ah, yeah, I'm kinda at the point where I can't even buy instant noodles, pal. So I kinda already put your name on the bill. Huh? Huh? Yeah, I got me a situation just like that myself. There's this camera shop in this hotel, see? And I just bought myself this good old beauty here. It better be anyhow for $3,000. Right, Nick, you out here getting finessed. Actually, I reckon you bought it from me since it's on your tab and all. Right. Isn't this great, Mr. Nick? Yeah, Nick. Yeah, I better hope you can pay for this. Why do I suddenly feel like screaming? Aw, you don't need to hold back now, you hear? Yeah, pal. Time to let it all out. This is going to be the first time I hear the real you. Go on. It's been a while since I heard you say it. It's I've been busy being a hostage and all. Go on, Nick. Say your famous line. All right, if you say so. Objection! Is that it? That's it. See, part 2, Phoenix Wright, hold on. Y'all can read this. I'm gonna move my webcam. I'm gonna put myself here, I guess. Um Season 2 of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Justice for All is over. Thank God. I'm not gonna lie. This was a tough game. Especially this part here. Now, unless they pull a okie doke on me and say that there's a secret 5th episode, this game should be over. With all that being said, I love this game. This game frustrated me to no end. Y'all seen me rage. Y'all seen me cheat. Y'all seen me get things messed up on obvious shit. But yeah, y'all can read all this. I'm not reading all this, but yes, I love this game. It's gonna be a really long time until I get to the 3rd game. I think it's Trials and Tribulations, I think. But yeah, I love this game. This game holds a special place not only in my heart but on this channel, right? I kind of grew with this game. Oh, that's Bird. Maggie Bird. I've retired this uniform as of today. Oh, she's retiring. She's gonna be a waitress and bring smile. Okay. I haven't seen her since the first trial. Interesting. Are other people gonna come? Now I'm intrigued. Hold on. If other people are coming, I gotta see this. Oh, never mind. I didn't have to see this that bad. But yeah. What was I talking about? Oh yeah. I feel like this game has grown not only me but on this channel. In a way. This game has definitely, made me think, made me challenge my thinking, and has made me think in ways I probably would have never thought possible, and think inside the box, outside the box, and all that. Oh, it's Max. But yeah, this game is special, man. This game may get on my nerves. This game may take a bunch of parts, which I'm not really accustomed to outside of this game. But yeah, and this part only took 31 parts, which I'm very proud of. And I know I said I would never make a video that's like 2 hours long, but I was ending this trial. I had to end this video, cause I don't know if I could have lasted another video. But I think after this video is uploaded, I don't know when when this video will be uploaded. But I think after that, I'm gonna take like a break from recording. At least like recording things will still probably be released while I'm on my break. But during that time frame, whenever this video is uploaded, everything's gonna be like scheduled to upload, and I'm just gonna be on break until the next story game. Um, and yeah, I hated some of these characters, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Um, I don't remember the first case all that well. I only remember the spoiled rich kid. He was kind of annoying. I think my favorite one was the Eeny Mini trial, the one where they were at Korean Village. Um, the third trial, I hated that trial. Everyone was so unlikable, and this one was just long, right? And it made me think in ways that I usually wouldn't think in. But yeah, okay, Miss Andrews. All right, she's just going on and speaking. Like I said, y'all can read that. But yeah, trials and tribulations. I won't be doing that for a long, long while, because I would be a fool to jump in a game like Phoenix Wright after I finish this last trial. Um, oh, the killer is still out and about. Okay. Um, maybe actually, you know what? Now that this happened, maybe we don't have to get like a guilty verdict anymore, or a not guilty verdict anymore. Maybe we'll actually help Edgeworth make people guilty then. Nevertheless, fantastic game. Um, and is that it? Let me move my face cam back down since there's not much else to say. At least right now. International departures, gate 12. Where are you going, Francisca? How did you know I was here? With this. That's... I heard you were planting things on a certain person. Things like tracking devices in his coat, for example. That's just like you. I only planted it there because he was always wearing it. This filthy drab coat of his. I don't know how it ended up in my luggage, but it's going in the trash, I promise you that. Oh, that's right. Speaking of that man, he told me something very interesting. When I ran off with things from the killer's hideout, I was sure I took 4 things in total, sir. 4 things? It seems he put the last item in his coat pocket. He put it in there? It doesn't matter anymore. The case is already over. What are you going to do now? That's none of your business. Are you running away? Shut up! You don't understand a thing. You can't possibly understand what it means to be Manfred von Karma's daughter. Franziska. So many expectations from everyone around me. Expectations I must fulfill. I'm expected to win no matter what. And failure? Such a thing is not an option for me. My father was a genius. There's no doubt about that. But me? I'm no genius. I've always known that. Damn. But I had to be one. I had to. You may not be a genius like your father, but you are a prosecutor, and you have been and always will be. No, I'm not. Not anymore. I've even thrown my whip away. Speaking of that, Wright gave this to me. Gave me this to hold on to. Right? You knew something like this would happen, didn't you? I'm going to say this again. We prosecutors do not fight for personal honor or pride. I hope I hope you will think deeply about what you should be striking down with that whip. You haven't changed a bit. You've always you've always left me alone and walked on ahead without me. Miles Edgeworth, I've always hated you. And then, finally, my chance to take revenge on you arrived. If I could win against that man, I would have made Phoenix Wright bow down in defeat. Or if I could make Phoenix Wright bow down in defeat, whatever. Then this girl you left behind would have risen higher than you. That was supposed to be my revenge. I see. You know, I can't do it. I can't change who I am. I can't throw away everything I've been until today. I believe you can. Just like how Adrian Andrews did. Adrian Andrews? You were going to use her during the trial, right? But you were dependent on your father by using his tactics, isn't that right? Mm. Today, you chased after me after I had left you behind all these years. And that's why we're standing here now, side by side. But I have no intention of stopping. If you say you're going to quit your walk down the prosecutor's path, then this is where we part ways, Franziska von Karma. Is this how you want things to end? Oh, you're crying? I I'm Franziska von Karma. Don't think I'm going to walk in your shadow forever. Our battle begins now. You had better prepare yourself, Miles Edgeworth. It's good to see you, like, upset, but this is kind of ugly cry, no? Alright. Phoenix Wright. One day, someday, I'm sure we will meet again in battle. Until then, this last piece of evidence that never made it to you. I'll take good care of this fourth piece, so I can give it to you when at last we meet again. You drew on the thing? You drew on the card? That was the fourth thing of evidence? Shout out to Capcom. Farewell my turnabout. That's it? Alright. It looks like that was it, y'all. Phoenix, like I said, Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Justice for All is now over. And like I said, it's going to be a very, very long time until I get to Trials and Tribulations. I'm not sure how long it's going to be, but it's just going to be a wait. But thank you guys so much for watching this playthrough of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Justice for All with me. It's been one hell of a ride on this game, and I probably could have finished this game a little earlier had I not taken that long break back in like May of last year or so. But yeah, I'm glad this is over. I love this game, and maybe after Trials and Tribulations we'll touch on Apollo Justice. And I hear it's like a newer version of this, so we'll probably get more like new mini games and things like that. Hopefully this has new mini games and not the same mechanics. I thought speaking of the mechanics, I thought the Magatama one was actually pretty cool. It just frustrated me when I got stuck on things. And when it showed me like 4 and 5 of them, that one threw me for a loop. But yeah, I'm gonna cut this video now because this video is already long enough, about 2 hours and 20 minutes of footage that I have to now edit. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys like QC and are looking forward to Trials and Tribulations, be sure to like, comment, subscribe. As for the next story game, I have no idea. I'm just gonna play that out by ear and see what's what after I come back from my break. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to y'all later.
Right, girl, it's your head.